The representative learning facilities and strategic campus in the center of Bandung City, Bandung Regency, and higher education zone in Jatinangor, Sumedang make UNPAD as an excellent university in conducting education, research, and community services. Through its best programs enabling to fulfill the needs of society, nowadays UNPAD has 16 faculties and 1 postgraduate school, totally consisting of 152 study programs. Faculty of Law, Faculty of Economics and Business, Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, Faculty of Agriculture, Faculty of Dentistry, Faculty of Social and Political Sciences, Faculty of Arts, Faculty of Psychology, Faculty of Animal Husbandry, Faculty of Communication, Faculty of Nursing, Faculty of Fishery and Marine, Faculty of Agricultural Industry Engineering, Faculty of Pharmacy, Faculty of Geological Engineering, Postgraduate School. Realizing the importance of learning process, curriculum and learning method are continuously developed in order to adjust the dynamics of stakeholders' needs. Nowadays, UNPAD has used student-centered learning method. That is, learning method focuses on students as the base to actively involve in developing knowledge, skills, attitude and behavior with competence-based curriculum. Supported with professional faculty members and staffs, UNPAD is capable of generating competitive and characterizing graduates. Until now, it has registered 10,000 of students from all over Indonesia and hundreds of international students studying in Universitas Padjadjaran. To optimize the education and learning processes, UNPAD is supported with various representative supporting facilities such as library, Basic Science Service Center, Language Center, e-learning, Teaching Hospital, and Dental Hospital. In addition, UNPAD is also equipped with student dormitory, health facility, sport facility, campus transportation, banking, hall, and entrepreneurship facility. Such various facilities are supported with the utilizing of information technology. Besides supporting the academics quality, Universitas Padjadjaran also fully supports the activity of student character building through some student unit. As a part of society, Universitas Padjadjaran absolutely realizes that its function is limited not only in teaching, but also social and cultural aspects. Some social activities, society empowering, and research implementation have been conducted to give real benefits for all society. Universitas Padjadjaran, straightening and developing together with society. From West Java, for Indonesia, to the world through SDGs.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you are doing well amid all these challenges and changes during this pandemic. And first of all, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alifa Putri Anargia. You can also call me Alifa, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's webinar. Welcome to TIN Agroindustrial International Week with topic Agroindustrial Technology, Innovation and Commercialization. Today is the second day of TIN Agroindustrial International Week, which day one was already held on Monday, and the last one will be on the next Friday. This program is brought to you by TIN Unpad, collaborating with several universities and organizations in Asia. The aim of this program are to broaden the student insight about the prospect of agroindustry and raise student awareness about agroindustrial problem in technology, innovation, and commercialization in various countries. Next, let us praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessing, we're able to gather in this morning to join this second session of TIN Agroindustrial International Week. And let us open this program with Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We wish with Basmalah, our program will run without obstruction with the blessing of Allah, of course. And then after Basmalah, let us open this event with pray first. Okay? Praying based on individual belief, begin. Amin. And then next, I'd like to thank you for joining us on Zoom. You can also see or access this from TIN Unpad YouTube channel. And feel free to interact or giving reaction for our speakers, and do not hesitate to give us your reaction like clapping or smile or laugh or anything like that. And then now let me tell you what we are going to have today. We have two sessions. The first session is the speaker from Kasetsart University, Assistant Professor Chutima Waisarayutt, with topic how to make agroindustry resilient in the era of VUCA. And the second session is from University of Tsukuba, Professor Ryozo Noguchi, with topic life cycle assessment in agroindustry. And then before we start this program, I'd like to share some rules for this webinar that you will have to agree. The first rule is participants are required to use their own real name for the name format. And then number two, participants are required to turn off their camera, turn off their microphone, and turn on their camera as long as it doesn't interrupt the event. Number three, it is required to participants who turn on the camera. They're not allowed to show things that are not proper to watch. Number four, participants are prohibited from using the share screen feature unless allowed to. Number five, for participants who want to ask questions, there will be a Q&A session in one of the sequence of today's event. Number six, for participants who want to ask questions, please fill in the chat column with name _question. And the last rule is there will be a photo group session at the end of today's event. So make sure you're still here until the end of today's event. So that's all for today's rule. Be sure to follow the rules. And also don't forget at the end of this program, there will be an absence, taking absence, and be sure to check the chat column for further information. And then next, to start this program, we will have a speech from our project leader of TIN Agroindustrial International Week, Kang Abian. To Kang Abian, time and place is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Teh Alifa. Before that, I want to say that Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, dear our honorable guest, Mrs. Chutima Waisarayutt, as a representative, also a speaker from Kasetsart University. Hello, Miss. Okay, and also our another honorable guest, Professor Ryozo Noguchi, as a representative, also a speaker from University of Tsukuba. And then Mr. Karisha Amaru as head of department Agroindustrial Technology, Mrs. Tensiska as a head of study program, Mrs. Efri Mandarwati as a dean of faculty of Agroindustrial Technology, Universitas Pajajaran, and also the lecturers from Agroindustrial Technology, Universitas Pajajaran, whom I respect, and last but not least, to all of the participants. Well, as a project officer of this event, I first of all like to thank you to all of the committees who ran this event very well, and also I want to say thank you to Justin Nurina as a person in charge in this event, and the other committees that I can mention one by one. I want to say thank you to all of the support system, our lecturers, staff, and of course all of you who came in this event, to this spectacular event, of course. Nice to meet you again, all of the participants in this event. We have passed the first day of the Agroindustrial International Week. There were best speakers from different countries, such as Malaysia and Philippines, give us so many insight and powerful enlightenment. And in this day, on the second day of International Week, we facilitate with another best speakers from Thailand and also from Japan to give us more and more enlightenment, to give us more and more insight. Then I hope with this opportunity, we can learn more and more. We can ask more and more and getting better. And that's all from me. I hope in this event, we will really get new experience and we can collaborate each other. In the end of the speech, I welcome all of you to attend this event. Talking about how to make agroindustry resilient in the era of VUCA and also life cycle assessment in agroindustry. Welcome and enjoy this event. That's all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Kang Abian, for giving speech and lead this incredible program. And now we're already on the main program, but before we start, allow me to play the profile video of Agroindustrial Technology, University of Pajajaran. For operator, time and place is yours. Enjoy.
Agroindustrial Technology Study Program is one of the study programs in the Agroindustrial Technology faculty. The Agroindustrial Technology Study Program was established in 2013 to provide solutions to the needs of experts for agroindustrial technology in the industrial world, especially in the small and medium industry sector in the context of developing technopreneurship. Agroindustrial technology divide 4 fields of study. The first is agroindustrial system. Agroindustrial system studies include production of or manufacturing systems, transportation system, optimization system, information systems, work procedures, quality control systems, and agroindustrial products. The second is agroindustrial management. Agroindustrial management studies how to plan, organize resources, process resources, and control process from raw material resource from agroindustrial product to produce semi-finished or finished goods. The third is agroindustrial process technology. Industrial process technology. Agroindustrial technology studies include creating new technologies, improving existing technologies, new natural materials, and byproduct utility. The study develops technology to increase added value, community welfare, and national competitiveness. And the fourth is bioprocess technology. Agroindustrial bioprocess technology. The studies develops bioprocess technology to increase the added value of agroindustrial product into products needed by the community. These studies include bioprocess basic concept, biorefinery and bioeconomy, biowaste and bioenergy, bioindustry in agroindustrial sector.
Okay, thank you, operator, for sharing the profile video, and feel free to giving us your reactions to the profile video. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have an opening speech from our head of Agroindustrial Technology major, Mrs. Efri Madawati. To Mrs. Efri, time and place is yours.
Thank you very much, Alifa. Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Efri Mardawati, the head of study program of Agroindustrial Technology, Universitas Pajajaran. On behalf of organizing committee, I'm pleased to welcome you to the second day of the Teen Agroindustrial Technology, Agroindustrial International Week, with agroindustrial technology, innovation, and commercialization as the theme. I'm grateful to all the experts who have come to share their knowledge this week. We would like to say thank you to Professor Chutima, Waisarayutt. Good morning, Prof. Chutima, from Agroindustry Innovation Program, Kasetsart University. And the next presenter is Professor Ryozo Noguchi from the Tsukuba University, who have agreed to fulfill our invitation. Last Monday, we also invited Dr. Aida from UIT Mara, Malaysia, and Dr. Hanilin from Philippines. We really appreciated your contribution as the speakers at this event. I would also express my gratitude to the committee, Alpha, Abian, Pak Koko, as the PIC, Alifa, SMC, and the moderator, to the Dean and the Vice Dean of Faculty of Agroindustrial Technology, academic manager, head of department, lecturer, who have fully supported this program, to students and academic staff who have attended this event. Ladies and gentlemen, the Teen Agroindustrial International Week event is a half-day program carried by Agroindustrial Technology student and study program, with the student as the audience. Our goals are to enrich student knowledge about the prospect of agroindustrial and to raise students' awareness of the subjects of agroindustrial problem, agroindustrial innovation, technology, and commercialization in particular. In addition, this activity is also in implementation of independent campus program, Freedom to Learn. In Indonesian, we call it Campus Merdeka program, launched by the Indonesian Ministry of Education. For this program, a student can learn out of campus up to 3 semesters to do 8 activities. They are student exchange, industrial internship, research, humanity project, and the others. We hope this event can bring many benefits to the student and lead to the further collaboration in the future. To Prof. Chutima, this event might provide a valuable opportunity to us for arranging the collaboration program, such as a student and staff exchange program, internship program, exchange of research, and the joint publication between Kasetsart University and UNPAD. Hopefully, this program can be the beginning of the collaboration and the student learning process at the global level to increase their knowledge. Finally, I would like to thank all those who participated in this morning's activity. Hopefully, all of you can enjoy this program. Stay safe, stay healthy. That's all. Please enjoy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the speech, Ms. Every, and please give your reaction to Mrs. Every. Thank you so much. And to kick off the first session, I'd like to welcome Mr. Koko Agus Kurniawan as moderator for this first session. Welcome, Mr. Koko. How are you?
Great. How are you doing, Alifa?
I'm good. Thanks for being here. Mr. Koko Agus Kurniawan is one of our lecturer in TIN Unpad. He's also alumni of Kasetsart University for his master degree, majoring in Agroindustrial Technology Management. So Mr. Koko is quite familiar with Thailand and especially Kasetsart University. To Kang Koko, time and place is yours.
Okay, thank you, Alifa. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the TIN Agroindustrial International Week Program Day 2. I'm Koko Agus Kurniawan. It is my pleasure to be a moderator for this session on how to make agroindustry resilient in the era of VUCA. Before we start our discussion today, I would like to say hello to our speaker, and she is my advisor when I was studying at Kasetsart University, Thailand. Hello, Achan Mao. Good morning. สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ Hi
สบายดีไหมครับ
Oh, okay. I'm very good สบายดีค่ะ
long time no see, Achan. It's been 1 year ago. Okay. First of all, may I briefly introduce to all of you our special speaker from Thailand. Please the committee to share the screen to display to profile our speaker. Okay, so the speaker today is Assistant Professor Chutima Waisarayutt. She has received her bachelor degree in food science and technology at Kasetsart University and graduated her master and doctoral degree at University of Wisconsin Madison, United States. She has expertise on agri and food business ecosystem analysis, strategic branding, and value creation. Now, she has 3 most recent positions for the professional experience as Innovation and Business Transformation Consultant on Innovation and Business Transformation at Dairies Livestock Organization in Government Enterprise. And second, she is Vice Dean for Strategic Branding and Corporate Relationship on Innovation and Business Transformation. Take care about human competency and system redesign at Faculty of Agroindustry. And the last, she is also academic committee on food safety and proficiency skill validation at National Food Institute. Okay, before the presentation begins, let's know the regulation, how the presentation will be going on. Firstly, I'd like to give the time to speaker to present the material for about 60 minutes. Secondly, we would like to continue with Q&A. So if you have any question, please drop your name at the chat room. Then I will allow you to open camera and microphone. Okay, without further ado, I would like to welcome our presenter. She will deliver a presentation entitled How to Make Agroindustry Resilient in the Era of VUCA. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Chutima. And screen is yours, Achan.
สวัสดีค่ะ Good morning. Yeah, good morning all my colleague, my lovely friend, and all the students in University Panjadaran, Indonesia. And it's my pleasure for me to share what already continue working in here in Bangkok. And I think Koko is a participate in that, and after he graduate and go back to his hometown, we just try to exchange how each other develop the type of transformation from each region, and I hope one day we can exchange and share, right? So let me briefly introduce you about what my work is in the university and in the agro industry business sector. All right. Okay. So my assignment from my ex-student is, could you please share there about how to make agro-industry resilient in the era of VUCA? All right. So my job here for 1 hour, I have to share this thing. So because in here, let me set the agreement. Whenever we see the sign of the star and the question mark in there, everyone expect to think and to participate in the text box in the Zoom. So you may type in what you think in the text box, and then from there we can see how your learning process is getting along while I have 1 hour lecture together with you. So we should be keep the energy participate from each other, okay? So the assignment for me is how can we do the resilient for the agro industry in the era of VUCA. So whenever I teach my students how to do that, because nowadays everything is changed so fast, the key ability that everyone should have is I teach learn how to learn. I didn't teach you the knowledge, I teach you learn how to learn. So the easy way of learning is whenever issue you come up, you have to figure out, you try to define it. And then from that define, you try to structure a model. What is it from? It's like structural system. What is that issue come from? And then what is the impact? Okay, so let me try. When you heard about the word industry, what is industry? Right? So every student, you can type in the chat box, and I'm sure Coco will not grade you in that thing. So you just try, have fun, and type down the text when you think about what is industry. All right? And what is industry 4.0, right? So while you are doing that, I keep talking, right? Industry is the system of the production, right? You have the process, you have some input and then some process, and then repeat the output. So that is the key thing about the industry. And then industry have the number of the version from version 1, version 2, version 3, and version 4. Because the technology it changed from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Therefore, the characteristic of putting input and then processing and then repeat the output is changed because of the availability of the technology, right? So characteristic of industry 4.0, because it's the era of Internet of Things, everything is get connected through the machine, to the internet, to the data. So industry 4.0 have the characteristic of automate with sensor, because it's the full saturated era of the machine. And that machine also have the sensor. So from that sensor, they keep inputting the data every time, and machine never stop learning. They do the processing of the learning. So it becomes smart because they never stop learning. So they know every day they input the data and what is the output, and then from input and output of that data, they become a smart machine. So they can learn and adapt the output from that. We call it artificial intelligence, right? From the data. And then from there, the processing become flexible and speed, and of course, the consistency of the quality, right? So 4.0 is come from that available of the technology. We call it Internet of Things era. So the industry from 4.0 is have mass customization because of the flexibility of the flexibility of the process. They be able to do value mapping between the request and the production. And the processing inside is just in time. So they're not assembly the final product until they got the invoice or the request, right? So from there, it creates the process of repeating process, and that process is flexible with the speed. So now my question is, when everything is get connect, machine communicate to the machine, and they keep learning every day, so they create no boundary because it fully connect, right? Because now it's machine, my machine and your machine over there, it get connect. We have no boundary. Now, start again. Impact and consequence. What will happen if the world have no boundary? It's placeless and it's harmless. It's placeless now because before there, we cannot do the teaching, right, between Bangkok and Bandung. But now we can do in-front teaching, even though Mr. Coco say we don't see each other for a long time, but I don't think we lost the updating because you and me know each other what the progress from each place, right? So it's a placeless and it's as a timeless as well. Even though the event is in the morning, but I'm sure some student who is not available this time, they can repeat the videotape to learn, right? So what is the consequence when this condition happen? So I ask you, what will happen if the world have no boundary? And then plus virus, right? Because no boundary and then virus come. So everyone get pandemic from each other, right? And then I put more external factor. What will happen if the world have no boundary? We have virus now, and we will have a PM 2.5 because of the cold weather, because the cold temperature will trap the particle in the air. What will happen? So it's become the phenomena of VUCA. VUCA is the forward, is volatile. Thing that happen in one place can volatile to the other place. It's uncertain because it's no boundary. So things is get connect and try to interact from each other all the time. So it's uncertain. And then it's complexity because there is multi-layer issue. We are afraid about the safety of the virus. So everything is clean, germ-free, sanitized, and then we have protect our utensil. We create so many plastic now, and alcohol gel, and even though the mask, right? Now it's ambiguity. It depends on the value of the purpose of each individual. You can see. So this is the consequence when everything gets connected, no limit, no boundary, no place, and no time. Is the agreement that everyone have to agree, right? When we have the convenience of the placeless, spaceless, and timeless, and then the consequence also have the VUCA effect. Why I was speaking, if some of you would like to have a question, you type in, and then Coco, could you please help me ask something up? It's okay, I can stop and have a discussion while speaking, all right?
Okay, So
Okay.
if you have,
All right. So this is the thing that we have to agree and accept for the VUCA when the technology come with the spaceless and timeless, right? So when the VUCA come, what is happen? Volatile mean this is the era of, this is the thing that when you see is volatile. Volatile mean is dynamically changing because it's volatile, right? It have no pattern. It uncertainty, it have no pattern. Thing that already happened in the past may never happen again in tomorrow. So historic data is okay for the past, but now when things come like we never in Thailand now, the airline service has been stopped, right? A lot of pilots have no flight to fly. It never happened before. Before there, the growth of the airline business, it keep going up, but nowadays it is no more, things like that, right? It's a complexity because it's multi-layer, and ambiguity is talking about because everyone become individual. Individual have an individual purpose and individual value that they give the priority to. So all of this. So when this is the normal condition, it's a normal condition now. Well, how about our life and how about our business? The dynamic changing, that means today and tomorrow may be different. So the structure of the working should be flexible, right? It should be flexible. It's uncertainty because there is no pattern. So it's like here, it's no pattern. Before that, we also talking about what is the best practice that Thailand already do, or what is the best practice that my previous colleague have already do. But it is uncertainty and no pattern now. So best practice from yesterday may not be for today. So people have seek for the new approach, not talking about the repeat model, but talking about create and focus on what happened, what is the situation today, and what is the solution come. So the new approach have to apply the solution-oriented or the innovation way, right? Because innovation is the solution direction. And because things keep changing, the situation is changed. So people have to be lifelong learning, right? We have to keep lifelong learning because we never think I am the base in this area and then the world will not change. It's no more. Now the world is changed and mixed every time. So lifelong learning is normal from now on. Okay, it's multi-layer part, which means we have the issue in every country, every situation have their history before. So we cannot think about only self because we have under the politic thing, we have the economic condition that we are in. We have the social belief, we have the culture, we also have the history of the country in different, right? So it is the thing that we come up, it will not be only one direction, it's a multi. So it is holistic or optimum design. You have to think about all of the issue in one time. Ambiguity is you have to understand that people is equal. You have the feeling, you have the value, your friend, your family, or your neighbor also have the priority of the purpose of living or the value. So we need the psychological or empathy behavior. We cannot use ourselves as a center anymore. So this is the thing that we have to understand, right? And awake for this issue that we have to put all of this thing into our design model. So that is the fact of the advantage of technology. That is the fact of the character of industry become the version of 4.0. And that is the fact of your normal living from now on. We call it VUCA era. Now, what next? What next for us? Again, repeat again. The last word in my title is resilience. So when you heard about the word resilient, what is it? What is resilient? How you make the system or structure to deliver resilient, and what is the impact of that structure. Then if you want to create the resilient structure, how can you design? So this is the thing that when you have this logic of thinking in your head, now you can be a lifelong learner, because whenever issue you have, you just come up with what is it, what is the composition of it, what is the input, what is the process factor, and what is the output, right? And from there, what is, if you want the impact output, how you can backward to redesign the structure of the system and the process. So this is the way of doing and become a resilient people, right? Okay, so resilient you can come up with your own definition of resilient, and you can create some cartoon character, or you can do something to help you explain what is resilient like. But in order to make sure that you have resilient, you have to have three things. Whatever you create, it have to stay relevant. It have to be relevant to the user and the situation and the area that you apply. So the relevant is a purpose or meaningful value. Okay, so someone say whenever you have to do or create, you always have to set your purpose, why you make it, what expected impact you expect to impact. So this is stay, right? And if that impact is relevant to someone or something else, so that is a stay relevant. The second is that stay relevant, how you can make that relevant become relevant all the time. So it stay flexible, right? Stay flexible. What is the structure of the model? The process should be flexible. If your process is very rigid, you have to follow only this procedure 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that output. When the condition is changed, your process may be out of job, right? So stay flexible with self-immune, okay? It's very important. And the last is that process and relevant is not only relevant to yourself. It should be relevant for all, right? Before that, business talking about the relevance between the buyer and the payer, right? Whenever you make sure that your customer willing to pay you, then the business happen. We're talking about just only two, the buyer and the payer, right? But now the business have to be think about for all. Some people use the word CSR, corporate social relationship, in every process, right? In every process. Before that, people separate CSR as the extra activity. But today we use CSR in process. In process means in every process, your equation have to input the social concern in that as well, right? So this is the relevant is you think about yourself, your team, right? Your organization. What is the society? This is the people part. We are talking about the planet, and we're talking about how to make this value exchange. We're talking about the profit, right? So this is a resilient structure it should have. In order to come up with the structure with 3 properties, we make sure that we did lifelong curiosity, then learning. I use this word. People will not automate learning everything, but you have to be curious to know something, and then you acquire the knowledge and learn. So the keyword is the curiosity. and we will not curious in everything. Only thing that we concern and value, mostly be curious about that, right? So curiosity learning is always exchanged with time. Second is enjoy. You have to, when you curious and then you learn, you acquire the knowledge. Mostly people cannot wait to see what it look like. So you will enjoy trying, taste with a real experience and how it look. And then if it's not good, you redo it again. So curious learning, taste and try, or we call it growth mindset, is the automatic system, right? But we have to figure out the curiosity point of different, okay? And then from there, because we have to change and solution oriented, we have to be creative and innovation, because it's solution oriented and solution is not a fixed word. It depends on who and where and what and situation that you apply for. So creativity create the variety of choice, but innovation is return on the solution. And last is we shall be able to stay connecting for both online and offline. So this is the condition from the model design as to make sure that you have a resilient point, all right? So from until here, I think I have covered the thing that we have to talk about, okay, as a definition on what it look like and what next we have to design, okay, from what is Industry 4.0, what is how to make it resilient in the VUCA era, right? Up to this point, any question or any discussion that we would like to have? All right. If it's not, I will continue, maybe. Okay?
Yes, I think you can continue.
Okay. So this is the value chain of the agroindustry. When we're talking about the agroindustry now, we're talking about the solution, right? So agroindustry will not be stay alone, only processing part, because solution have to be more than processing. So the value chain, the value that, the chain of the value that deliver that impact solution to the customer have to be consist of, we call it the brand or the mindful brand. Okay, the mindful brand is the customer today. Okay, we will start with the deliver value is a mindful brand. People will talking about sustainable for all, and we're talking about biocircular green model. Okay, the second part of the composition of agroindustry, we're talking about well-being solution. Okay, talking about the eater or the user, they're talking about well-being solution. So it have to deliver personalized service with digital platform, right? So that well-being can be delivered to that user part. We have to know about convenience with delivery system. We have to create the experience design, right? To let them aware for the new value. Okay, and primary part, we're talking about better production part. In the production part, we're talking about precision farm, transparency process, traceability system, intelligent robot, right? Because human will shift themselves to the well-being solution part. In the production part, we will rely a lot with the robot, okay? And we're talking about better food or alternative food source, not only rely on the key major commodity, but we're talking about the variety of the community. All of these things, better production, well-being solution, mindful brand, will have to be balanced and make sure that sustainability for all is happening, all right? And the baseline is digital platform for seamless connectivity. down there is have a lot of data and information in order to keep learning, and then you can understand and mapping for the value on your value chain up here, right? So down there is the digital platform that they will collect a lot of data and then insight what is going on in the past, and then you can do the better upstream with it, talking about the physical world is a business thing, the agro-industry value creation part, and the primary agricultural part. So this is the holistic well-being value chain composition. You can see that from here, we cannot work in the only single disciplinary. We have to work from each other, from multidisciplinary, right, in order to complete this holistic well-being value chain. What happened in Kasetsart, because in Industry 2.0 time, it's talking about repeat, rigid structure, right? And then in the era of Industry 3.0, we're talking about commercial market, but it's not fully connected yet. So education have expanded in the single disciplinary. We break the chain from agricultural part to the industry part, and then business part, and then medicine part for the human body, right? So different department, different faculty have worked separately in their own disciplinary, but now it's a VUCA era, it's a solution era, is talking about creativity, innovation, meaningful impact. So it have to mix and fuse again. In order to do that, we have to go into transformation, because when people have their own tribe, own disciplinary, own comfort zone, now they have to come out and have to work with a different culture and different people. We need to train, to retrain ourselves to do that again. Right. So in here, so what is happened in Kasetsart University, from 6 big department, we have to fuse again. So we come up with the curriculum, the new curriculum. So the curriculum, Kasetsart University have to create the center curriculum by design to trial process of system restructure. Right, because when you have a big house, and then we say, okay, leave your house and stay together in the courtyard, no one wants to do that, right? So we have to create a structure, we call it curriculum by design, okay? And then we ask someone or procure someone who want to be the first trial of the innovation people and come and work together. We call it Agro-Industry Innovation Program, right? So we come up with the curriculum. And then from there, in this curriculum, we use a design thinking approach, which is goal-based or purpose impact-based to design the structure. And from that design model, we have to apply that model into the ecosystem or environment. We call it real life, which means that we have to try that trial model in the real place, not only inside the university. So we need curriculum as a structure to gathering new type of people to transform. We need the design thinking approach to redesign and make different variety of the model. And we need a network who allow us to apply the new idea and try to apply and see what is going on, right? So this is the structure of our curriculum. Right, so the curriculum have architect into 3 parts. I have the proportion of the curriculum into 60, 20, 20. The 60 is come from the technology part, which is our own base of agro-industry, right? So this is the technology that we have in hand in order to create or make physical thing without the technology, we cannot make a physical thing. Value have to be delivered through the physical thing. We cannot deliver value with the virtual, right? So this is the key technology that we have. Okay, 60% of the curriculum. 20% we call it new opportunity or brand value. So this is the design part, the brand value part, to create the new value, try to let people experience possibility, and we create the brand and vision to let people see if this value is good, and then this value can deliver by this technology part, and use a business model to repeat that system. So the curriculum combine 3 main skills, from the technology deliver skill to the ability to create a new value, a new design branding skill, and also the business part, in order to make sure that you return on your investment when you invest and do something, and make sure that you have money to reinvest that thing again. So the curriculum part have the combination of these 3 things. Students will be learned from first year, second year, third year, and fourth year according to their achievement, right? So we follow the design principle. First year is exploring, and then define what is the real value, and then create with the technology, and finally deliver with the business or entrepreneur skill. So this is the curriculum that we design. And you can see that each part, like the purpose thing, the color here, this is our department. From the technology, we have biotechnology department, food science, and packaging. That department is key contribution, right? And for the design, because we have a textile department, or in there mostly are the designer people, and product development as well is a product design. And we also have the partner as a company like startup, like data engineering, school of architect, or humanity, because all of this part, it have to have the psychology part, humanize part, and design part. And this side is the school of the department that Coco graduate from, talking about the business, right? Agroindustry technology management is the business. So all of these traditional department, they have to work together to fuse and see how to create the total system as a value oriented or solution oriented, and practice how to be a creative by experience with a different type of people. And then from there, they come back to their own background to deliver that particular solution and optimum to be a model of the innovation, right? So this is how we structure our system. So I think you can visit the website if you need further. In the website, they will talking about how we come up with this idea, what is the concept of study achievement, how is the structure in order to make sure that we create the new skill for 21st century student. All right, so in there, however, this is not our normal. It's the beginning of the transformation, right? But we try to do that, but it keep going when a student and the parents understand what is the concept. So after that, it will come grow and grow. So the websites look like this. I think you can visit in there. They're talking about the study, the course and activity, and the career. Let me show. Okay, so this is the achievement, the course. We divided the achievement in year 1, 2, 3, 4. Year 1, the student have to exploring the opportunity of the total agro-industry world. Okay, what is agro-industry will look like, what is the composition of the model of agro-industry. And then they apply the knowledge to ideate idea from brand point of view. Okay, so in the year 2, everything is just picture, is a picture, is a possibility. And then we create the prototype in the year 3 because they have gathering technology, business part, and the brand mission. So in year 3, they come up with the prototype. And then finally in year 4, they work with the real company. And I hope that some of them graduate with the business for their own. So that is our thing. So you can take a look it later. So from beginning until now is I introduce you, learn how to learn. Now where you can learn in agro industry in AIIP program. Actually, we can learn in different way when you know how to ask what is a definition of that issue, what is the process, and what is the impact, right? So from now on, when you do this, you can learn through reading. When you're reading, you have to extract what is definition, what's the model, and what is the impact. And if you want to change it, how you do that. And from when you're traveling to somewhere else, you also can analyze it for that as well. When you read and when you talk with someone in the different career or professional from you, you have the same way of thinking, what it define, what is composition of the model, and what is the impact. So from here, from this point 1, 2, 3 step, you will be able to make a conversation with a diversified career of people, dialogue, or you can do the new degree, you can do online, you can do self-verification to create your model. And sometimes when you do social service, so all of this is the experience place that led you to travel. That's why in the AIIP, we not put the student in the classroom, but we make sure that all of this matrix, we have the ability to approach. But whenever you approach in different type, you have to come up with the 3 questions and 3 concepts to me. What is it? What is the composition of the model? And if you want to make the impact, how might you change or create new model from there? So this is all the thing that I always request my students to return it to me whenever they experience in the real world. So let me show this is the case that our teacher and the student develop the classroom together under the short period. In Kasetsart, we have 1 week, no, more than 1 week, like 10 days. We call it Kaset Fair. It's a fair that we open the university and make sure that to be a public place and to be the business sector. So we show you this is the case that AIP curriculum project-based learning in order to make sure that our students have agro innovation entrepreneur. So again, whenever I have the project, I always come up with the purpose setting. So in that project, I have to make sure that my students have understand innovation, have applied creativity, and have the entrepreneurship. So student project-based training by creative and leadership. We want to have a business network in this era, and we want to create the brand awareness of a new transformation of agro-industry from agro-industry to agro-innovation, right? Inside this project. So this is the key objective. So in order to create this even objective, I have to make sure that the customer here have the same trend. We figure out what is the fact for consumer and value trend. people are there when they decide to buy things or participate in things. They want to make sure that they understand the experience. They have the unique with a new definition, and that people who provide it should give them a trust. So this is the trend analysis that we figure out what is a condition of the project that have to make sure that we have that. And then we come back and see what is the resource that we have. We have the event resource, which is the normal regular resource that we have to do it every year, which is the Kasetsart Fair. We would like to create the contents, how we introduce our project through the Kasetsart Fair. And from the Kasetsart Fair, we also would like to create the channel in order to develop and repeat that content. So from event, the content that we will provide in the event, and after that, we have the website, Facebook, and Line to show that event so we can relearn and allow the other people else to learn from there. And this is our partner. So the partner analysis potential, right? So this is our sales KU competency that we have and the value promising that we can return. And this is the number 2, 3, 4, 5 is the business partner that they agree to try something together with the AIAP program. So we have a mushroom panorama, which is the organic full-scale farming from the mushroom production into the mushroom extract and mushroom beverage, right? We have the Blue Nature, which is the indigo dyeing fabric. We have the printer, which is the, they have the design and directly print to the t-shirt. And we have the Head Heart Strategic Solution and Land Lab. They are the mass media. They create the media. So all of this is the composition of the business, and we ask them to join the event of Kasetsart Fair team. And then from there, we strategic do the positioning, like KU as AIP is a platform to combine of this value. We have the mushroom panorama is a theme of Agroindustry. We have the mass media to create and communicate. We have the design to the fabric, and we have the printing to create things that personalize. So we divided all of the students into the project management job allocation, right, in here. And then we send the student work directly to each professional, one to the mass media brand creation team, directly to Head Heart company. So half of the student and half of the staff in the real company work together in order to plan and create the contents. So the students have the ability to know what is the creative in the mass media thing, how they plan the content, and then how we can incorporate our content, which is Agroindustry, into that media contents. This is the part that students go to the printing. This is a machine printer. They provide the printer that allow you to customize printing directly to the t-shirt. So they ask them to show their printing machine and then come up with the workshop, how people can use the graphic media to design and then print directly to the t-shirt in Kasetsart Fair. So our students come up with a short course of how to help, how to teach the other to print, okay? And then this is a mushroom part, which is the farm. So in order to empowering the business together, we will help this farm exit the brand, how to make the public know they sell the mushroom. So because the mushroom is very beautiful, so the student come up with the fortune telling mushroom, right? Actually, the mushroom is for the eating. So we ask them to provide us the mushroom cultivar, which have 2 colors. And we come up with, if you buy the mushroom and then it's flowering the mushroom into the pink, you will lucky in love. And then if it's yellow, you will lucky in health, something like that. So this is the network, or the company have the benefit of exiting their brand through our activity. And then after that, we come up with the storyline of how we introduce ourselves as AIP to public, okay, and then work with the professional in order to create the booth, because in agro industry, we have to have the concept of, or even the entrepreneur, you have to communicate your brand and create the booth. So we work together with event organizer and come up with the booth. And all of this, even that already in Kasetsart, I think Coco is attained in that part as well. So all of that is example of how our classroom look like. We have the traditional classroom talking about the theory, and we also have the project-based classroom that combine all of the design thing, business thing, and the technology thing. So inside that, even in the class, we have 5 products. First product is student have a short course product. Student teach the newcomer, teenager or kid in the high school how to design and print it directly to the teacher. So our students have a practice of communication, teaching skill, explaining skill through the shortcut content. We use mushroom to come up with a new product. We call it icy mushroom. It's a beverage solution. So we put the jelly mushroom, put it into the icy. So that is the beverage solution. That is our specialist technology. We have the brand of Mushroom Fortune to help the network to come up with their brand, because no one knows what is Panorama. Panorama is the product selling, but we come up with the Fortune mushroom thing. So people or social remember Panorama is mushroom from our creative Mushroom Fortune, right? We do the customer.
Time is up. Time is up.
Okay.
But you can continue maybe a little bit for the
all right. It almost
presentation.
Finished. All right.
Okay.
So this is the activity. Next is, after we have a curriculum part, we have the practice, some practice that we want to share. Now we open AIP with the partner, with the other country, and then we can do the forum for centrally signed in order to see the new opportunity of the value creation. We have the Innovation Entrepreneur Club, right, system, and we have international school and university partner to make sure that all of this structure system have exchange and we can learn and compare to each other. And you can visit the Facebook for Agroindustry Innovation and Technology to see what is going on in there, right? So this is to show you how university positioning should be in the future. And this is the case of AIP that I would like to share with you today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for informative and interesting talk, Achan. Maybe Unpad will be your partner for the IIP partner.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can collaborate with our student also. We can create this, like student exchange or partnership or so on, Achan. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to question and answer question. So there will be one session for 3 questions or 3%. Okay, please drop your name at the chat room. Okay, there are 2 person wants to ask. Okay, first pun tiga Vere Dante. Okay, Dante. Hello, Dante.
Hello, sir.
Okay, please open your camera and microphone.
I've already turned on the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, please, your question.
Okay. Hello, Miss. I'm Dante. Nice to hear your presentation. Talking about resilience, we have to adapt and flexible, also relevant and enjoy trial as a real experience. But I'm curious about how we can divine ourselves, how to make sure ourselves that from all of the things that we tried, where are we good at? And is it good to follow our passion rather than our needs? Thank you.
Okay. How you know what is you good at? Mostly when you experience something and you keep doing that without anyone ask you to do, right? That is what you like. And then when you discover what you like, you have to add some knowledge how to do it and then apply it in the real experience. And then from the real experience and it grows, like doing business, someone buy you or put it into the Facebook, a lot of people follow you and agree with you. That is you are good at, right? So first, you allow yourself to exploring by many way of learning things. And then when you know where or what issue you like to spend your time with, make sure that you have a curiosity and learning and make it into something. And then from something you need verifying place. Verifying place, we call it real life lab. Verify to outside, not verify to your friend. Verify to business sector or verify to some event that no one know you. So it's like Kasetsart Fair is a meet verifying because we invite someone to come, and if you present and many people stop, act, talk, exchange, or become a member of the club, that is your verifying part.
Okay. At the end, is it right for just do it?
Is that?
At the end, is it right for just do it?
Yeah. Just do it. Do and then learn. Right?
Do and learn. Okay.
Do and then learn. Not do and repeat. Do and then evaluate and then learn. Right.
Like iterative models.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dante. So for the next question from Marsha Edina. Okay, Marsha Edina, please.
Hello, Mr. Koko.
You can ask. Okay, please.
Okay, hello, my name is Marcia. First of all, thank you for your nice and very inspiring presentation about new era of industrial. Well, I have a question. Due the presentation, we know that artificial intelligence will take more and more role in industry. As a graduate student, what do we have to do to adapt with new era in your opinion? Thank you for responding.
You have to familiar with the digital thing and data thing, because data like artificial intelligence is learning through data, right? However, you not necessarily to be the algorithm of machine learning. That is the engineer thing. But as an applicator, we should be able to do the analysis, understand that, and then mapping with the insight of the customer, and then know the psychology of that we talk about the empathy. So from that qualitative number, we can map with the quantitative insight information, and then come up with the new value deliver or creative or design thing, right? So it is like that. It's not just repeat doing that, but learn from the fact base of the data, learn from the people experience, and then come up with the new solution. So it's an innovation way.
Oh, so
the
the first we have to learn, and then the analysis and application of the.
Learn is not talking about reading book. Learn is talking about doing, applying the knowledge, do, and then experience and discover it.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your explaining, Miss.
Okay, so the keyword is learn, Ashan. Learn is about doing,
Doing.
not knowledging, not knowledge also.
Not reading.
Okay,
only.
not reading, not reading only. Okay, anyone else want to ask? Okay, maybe. Okay, that's enough. Maybe. Okay, Achat, maybe the last statement from you about the resilience agro-industry. Okay, anyone else? No? Maybe you can the last statement, Ajahn, before we close our session.
All right.
Yes.
I think people have ability to learn. Just do something to figure out the trigger point of your curiosity. I think the keyword is curiosity. Curiosity create the next consequence of learning, making, discovering, and then solution or innovation. In order to make sure that where is your curiosity come up, you have to experience and allow yourself to try on many things and try to monitor what is keep you curious and never stop thinking about that point, and then be the base from there, and then find the community to grow together. So that is the part of the next move.
Okay, thank you, Achan, for the presentation, and then hopefully the audience can get beneficially about the presentation. So before I close the session, we have a certificate for appreciation to Dr. Chutima Waisarayutt. Please share the screen to committee. Okay, thank you so much, Achan.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you very much, Prof. Chutima. Thank you very much.
Yes. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for presenting an interesting topic today, Prof. Chutima. I'm very excited because we have many similarities. We have the same faculty, that is Agroindustry faculty. Since not many universities in the world have the Agroindustrial faculty, right? And also that your curriculum at IIP program have the same focus with us. In the Agroindustrial Technology Study Program, that is innovation and entrepreneurship. So I think we have to collaborate together, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we are looking forward to the next collaboration, Achan.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Achan. So, and then the last session, please, we have a photo session also, Asset. Please turn on your camera to take a photo together.
For participants who hasn't turned on the camera, please turn on the camera just for this moment.
Okay, maybe the screen will.
Buat teman-teman, nyalain kamera dulu mungkin buat foto.
Okay, please, all of you to turn on camera and then mic, maybe camera off.
Okay, I'm going
photo together.
I'm going to count from 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's enough from me. Thank you.
Okay, Ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end part of this webinar. Before I close the webinar, I would like to take the conclusion from what the speaker had presented. To make agro-industry resilient in the era of VUCA, we should first stay relevant, purpose of meaningful value, and second, stay flexible with self-humanity, and third, for all, people, planet, profit, and fourth, need lifelong curiosity and learning, enjoy, try, test, and test as a real experience. Be creative and innovative, be able to stay connecting on both online and offline. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end of presentation. We would like to say thanks again for Dr. Chutima. Thank you, Achan. Hapun Maka Pachan for your informative and interesting talk, and to audience for your active participation. Okay, hopefully the presentation will be beneficial for everybody. Thank you for your attention. Good morning. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will give back to MC. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Koko.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Koko, and our amazing speaker, Assistant Professor Chutima Waisarayutt. And wow, that's a very insightful information. Please give us your reaction again to Mrs. Chutima and Mr. Koko. Clapping or love. Yes, thank you, everyone. I hope after this event, we could still maintain a good relation between Kasetsart University and Pajajaran University. And then move on to the next activity to relax our brain and physique. We have ice breaking. And I'm going to conduct ice breaking with Bahasa Indonesia. So, oke, boleh dibuka handphonenya sekarang. Kita buka kahoot.it, kita main dulu nih, kita refresh dulu. Dibuka handphonenya, terus terbuka website kahoot.it. Nah, boleh diinput tuh kodenya 981 9606. Udah ada satu. Ayo dari 157 partisipan ya minimal 156 lah ya join. Kodenya 9819606. Banyak yang pakai bahasa Korea ya. Padahal pembicaranya dari Thailand. Ayo baru 36. Iya ditungguin, ayo. Websitenya namanya kahoot.it ya semuanya. Ayo ke Thailand. Kita mulai 2 menit lagi ya. Ayo yang belum pengen teen trip. Boleh tuh. Ke Thailand ya, nanti ke Kasetsart. Ayo yang masih belum join boleh buka kahoot.it, kodenya 9819606. Ayo ajak lagi teman-temannya. Tenang-tenang, ada hadiahnya buat yang menang. Dapat door prize dari International Week Special. Aku mulai ya, ada yang masih mau join lagi? 1 menit lagi aku mulai.
Masih banyak yang belum ini.
Iya nih, masih banyak yang belum. Ayo, 155, 154 lah harus join. Ayo yang lain, yang belum. Ambil handphonenya sekarang. Ada hadiahnya, tenang aja. Hadiahnya sangat mengejutkan pokoknya.
Yo, yang menang dan dapat hadiah gak sih, Teh Alfa?
Wis, Alfa ganteng amat, Alfa.
Hadiahnya foto bareng sama ketua himpunan Alfa.
Rezan Zugang, wah, pempek. Kita mulai aja atau gimana nih, Pak?
Boleh nih, kayaknya langsung mulai aja sih, udah 84. Ayo, yuk operator boleh dimulai, siap-siap ya guys. Pertanyaan pertama. Siapa nama Perdana Menteri Jepang yang sekarang? Karena ini temanya Jepang dan Thailand ya guys, karena hari ini spesial Jepang dan Thailand.
Nama Perdana Menteri Jepang sekarang adalah...
Cepet banget waktunya. Ya, jawabannya yang benar adalah Yoshihide Suga.
Wah.
Dan peringkat pertama tanda tanya dan tanda seru. Siapa tuh? Peringkat kedua,
Ya,
next, ini cepet. Ini cepet ya guys, ininya jawabnya. Jadi kalian harus cepet juga. Apakah judul lagu kebangsaan Jepang?
Yoi, bener banget.
Tuh,
cepat-cepat
apa tuh?
dia dapat. Apa tuh?
Nah, itu jawabannya yang warna oranye. Gimana tuh cara bacanya?
Wah, cepet.
Ada yang bisa bacanya nggak?
Apa ini?
Nomor 1 tetap tanda tanya dan tanda seru. Keren. Jangan-jangan panitia.
Berapakah total pulau di Fiji?
Berapa tuh total pulau di Fiji?
Waduh, berapa? Coba nih teman-teman.
Ini agak cepet ya, jadi kalian harus mengasah jempolnya. Jawabannya 332. Siapa yang benar jawabannya 13 orang? Next. Masih dengan tanda tanya dan tanda seru, dan peringkat kedua Abian Wibu. Apakah ini project officer kita? Berapa tinggi badan Kuneo sekarang?
Itu yang suka nonton
Kepada Doraemon.
Doraemon.
Ya, banyak ternyata yang masih salah. Tingginya 136 ya. Ternyata agak mungil ya Suneo ternyata. Masih dengan tanda tanya dan tanda seru, nomor peringkat pertama. 135 kata Kang Aska. Salah ya ternyata.
True or false?
Ini benar atau enggak? Orang yang suka menonton
yang
anime
suka nonton
Jepang
Jepang.
disebut wibu atau wib.
Wib.
Hah? Jawabannya
Yang benar cuma
salah.
7.
Jawabannya salah. Harusnya apa ya yang orang yang suka menonton anime Jepang?
Ya.
Wibu katakan.
Wibu tuh benar Lutfi.
Oke, sekarang Tom Yam
Muka memimpin kali.
Apa nama makanan di bawah ini? Apa tuh? Boleh tanya ke Kang Koko kalau pada nggak tahu. Pada bener tapi keren kalian.
Ini mango sticky rice.
Mango sticky rice pakai bahasa Thailand. Wah, sekarang Dashi memimpin.
Tom
Next.
Di kedua.
Tom Yam turun kedua.
Adiknya nih. Soal ke-7.
Soal ke-7, manakah bahwa ini ucapan salam khas Thailand? Tuh, yang sawadikap yang mana tuh? Yang mana tuh yang sawadikap?
Sawadikap, yang mana tuh?
Ya Pak Koko, yang mana?
Yang mana Pak Koko? Sawadikap.
Sawadikap, Bu.
Kelihatan hurufnya ya.
Oke, jawabannya yang warna hijau.
Banyak juga yang benar.
Next, sekarang pertanyaan ke 8 ya? Atau 9? Oh, 8. Yang manakah pernyataan tentang Thailand yang benar? Ini fun fact tentang Thailand yang mana?
Yang benar.
Nah, tidak pernah dijajah oleh Bang.
Ini sih banget kayaknya sejarahnya.
Iya, ini bagus ya nilai sejarahnya waktu SMA. Keren. Next. Ini pertanyaan terakhir deh kalau nggak salah. Wow, Dashi tetap juara nih. Keren. Jangan bilang ini panitia lagi. Oh, ini masih pertanyaan ke-9 ternyata. Pencakar langit tertinggi di Thailand adalah
Manakon,
tapi yang mana tuh Manakonnya?
Ini di Sukhumvit kalau nggak salah daerahnya.
Tuh di daerah Sukhumvit katanya. Oh, yang benar Manakon. Pencakar langit tertinggi di Thailand. Wah, tetap Dashi nih juara nih.
Dashi, cakep.
Keren. Tom Yam udah nggak ada di ini nih. Di peringkat.
Abian Wibu juga nggak ada ini.
Pertanyaan terakhir, arti kata Thailand. Nah, apa tuh sebenarnya arti kata Thailand? Land pasti tanah. Thai itu apa tuh?
Thailand. Apa tuh?
Wah, artinya tanah kebebasan Thailand itu. Soalnya mungkin karena dia nggak pernah dijajah kali ya, jadi tanah kebebasan. Oke, sekarang kita lihat nih siapa podium juara 1 dan by the way ini yang dikasih hadiah juara 1 dan juara 2 aja ya, maaf banget kepada juara 3. Wah, Dashi juara 2. Siapa juara 1-nya?
Ya, padahal.
Wah, siapa nih yang dibalik Sun dan Dashi boleh bincang-bincang sedikit nggak kita sambil ditunjukin screenshotnya? Halo Sun, Dashi. Siapa nih di balik Sun dan Dashi?
Ayo,
kita
siapa? Ayo, ngaku. Jangan bohong ya.
Karena hadiahnya bener-bener mengagumkan banget. Siapa tuh? Boleh di open mic-nya?
Bener banget.
Pada ngaku semua tuh, pada ngaku.
semuanya kok jadi pada ngaku gini.
Wah, ini
Boleh on mic buat tadi siapa yang Shun dan Dashi. Cuma juara 1 sampai juara 2 doang nih yang bakal dapet hadiah.
Sun teh.
Ya, siapa tuh Sun? Siapa Sun? Oh, Sania ya? Wah, keren banget. Ini kesan-pesan dulu dong. Gimana nih rasanya?
Apa ya kesan-pesannya? Sebenarnya tadi ngerjainnya juga tebak-tebakan gitu, jadi keberuntungan saja sepertinya.
Wih, selamat ya Teh Sania. Hari ini lagi rezeki berarti, keren banget.
Selamat.
Nanti panitia tolong hubungin Teh Sania ya buat kasih hadiah yang paling keren itu. Jangan kaget ya Teh Sania, soalnya hadiahnya keren banget.
Mantap.
Nah, sekarang Dashi siapa Dashi?
Dashi ini dari kesusuk, padahal udah taman sih dari tadi.
Siapa Dashi?
Saya Kang Teh.
Siapa tuh?
Ini Hanana. Halo.
Oh, Hanana.
Gimana Hanana?
Kamu Dashi.
Iya.
Keren banget
Tapi,
ini emang. Ini apa tuh?
Jadi apa namanya? Kan saya panik, jadi udah tahu apa sebagian besar jawabannya, jadi lebih baik dikasihkan yang juara 3 aja.
Oh, ini orang dalam ya ini juara 2-nya. Oke, gimana nih panitia? Apa kita kasih kesempatan si juara 3? Atau jujur banget kamu?
Keren Dashi. Keren. Ya, kasih ke juara 3 aja. Juara 3 siapa?
Tadi juara 3 yang tanda tanya tanda seru siapa tuh? Tanda tanya tanda seru. Panitia juga nih jangan-jangan. Ayo juara 3 yang boleh open mic-nya. Kita kesan-pesan dulu sebentar. Halo. Adakah juara 3 atau malu-malu nih? Malu-malu nih kayaknya nih si juara 3 nih. Halo, adakah juara 3 atau ya udah deh kita ngobrol-ngobrol dulu kali ya sebentar sambil nunggu si juara 3 mengaku. Kalau nggak ada yang mau buat aku aja. Aku juga mau nih kalau nggak ada yang mau buat aku aja hadiahnya apa ya. Oke, nanti kalau misalnya ada yang merasa juara 3 tadi screenshot-nya kirim aja ke panitia. Soalnya hadiahnya nanti bakal langsung dikirim ke rumah kalian, tenang aja. Pokoknya keren banget lah hadiahnya. Sekarang aku pengen ngobrol-ngobrol dulu nih, tanya-tanya tentang gimana sih tadi menurut kalian presentasi dari Kasetsart University. Aku tunjuk nggak apa-apa nggak? Nggak apa-apa lah ya. Kita cek nih. Ada orangnya atau enggak nih di sini. Coba yang...
Siapa yang mau ke Thailand?
Nah, siapa yang mau ke Thailand setelah ini? Tuh, Teh Hasna mau ke Thailand setelah ini. Boleh nih Teh, kasih kesan-pesan tadi gimana tuh presentasinya. Terus semenjak nonton itu jadi pengen nggak sih melanjutkan studi ke Thailand atau mengikuti program kampus mereka ya Bu Evri ya Bu?
Ya, kampus Merdeka. Sudah mulai, boleh. Semester depan. Kalau 6
banget,
bulan
coba.
di sana, 6 bulan 20 SKS. 3 bulan 10 SKS.
Coba saya masih bisa Bu, pengen Bu saya juga.
Boleh, nggak apa-apa. Kalau mau nambah, Alifah boleh.
Mau nambah ya Bu. Gimana nih Teh Hasna kesan-pesannya nih tadi presentasi?
Keren banget sih tadi benar-benar ngasih insight baru buat kita para mahasiswa untuk menghadapi era VUCA ini.
Ya, keren banget. Jadi pengen kuliah di Thailand juga kan nih Teh?
Belum tahu sih kalau kuliah di sana. Tapi pengen ke Thailand.
Oh, pengen ke Thailand. Oke, nanti ya berarti semoga ada kesempatan bisa ke Thailand, jalan-jalan ke Kasetsart University. Keren banget sih emang. Nah, selanjutnya kita bakal ada, tadi kita udah ngomongin Thailand. Nah, selanjutnya kita ada insight sedikit nih tentang Jepang. Karena pembicara kedua ini kita bakal ada pembicara dari University of Tsukuba di Jepang. Jadi, boleh kita play dulu videonya sedikit tentang Jepang, sama nanti kita bakal ngobrol-ngobrol sedikit mengenai gimana sih di Jepang gitu. Boleh kepada operator? Wah, keren banget nggak sih? Coba boleh dong kasih reaction-nya tadi terhadap video tentang Jepang tadi. Sebelum kita masuk ke sesi pembicara dari University of Tsukuba, kayaknya kita enaknya ngobrol-ngobrol lucu dulu nih ya sama tentang Jepang sama mahasiswa. Salah satu dosen kita yang pernah juga kuliah di Jepang. Boleh kita panggil aja kepada Pak Gilang. Ada Pak Gilang di sini, Pak?
Ya. Halo.
Halo Pak, apa kabar Pak?
Selamat siang. Alhamdulillah siang. Baik.
Mau nanya-nanya dikit nih Pak tentang perkuliahan di Jepang. Boleh ceritain dikit dong Pak. Bapak dulu kuliah di Jepang tuh di mana dan jurusan apa gitu Pak. Supaya teman-teman ini bisa termotivasi nih Pak. Kayak bisa kuliah di Jepang juga gitu.
Jadi saya dulu ambil master di University of Tsukuba, ambil jurusan Life Science Innovation, tapi ambil fokus spesialisasinya di food innovation gitu. Terus tergabung di laboratorium namanya Food Resources Food Resource Engineering. Jadi memang penelitiannya lebih ke arah food, meskipun jurusannya lebih ke arah food application in medical and pharmaceutical.
Yeah. Wah, keren banget tuh. Kalau boleh tahu, ada nggak sih Pak perbedaan kuliah di Jepang sama kuliah di Indonesia, Pak?
Perbedaannya mungkin kalau compare sama S1 enggak apple to apple kali ya, karena memang harusnya dibandingin sama S2, dan saya nggak begitu tahu bagaimana S2 di dalam negeri, tapi yang mungkin bisa saya share kalau kuliah S2 di sana itu gimana ya, kita lebih aplikatif, jadi memang materi-materi perkuliahannya itu kebanyakan pengisi yang ngisi kuliahnya itu bukan hanya dosen tapi juga dari researcher dari National Institute-nya di Jepang dan juga perusahaan-perusahaan. Jadi kita memang belajar bagaimana ilmu yang kita dapatkan di kampus itu bisa diaplikasikan gitu. Terus yang sangat berbeda mungkin kalau kita lihat di sisi penelitian ya. Jadi kalau misalkan di Jepang itu bedanya sama di Indonesia, anak S1 mulai dari S1 tingkat akhir itu sampai anak ke PhD itu kita wajib selalu ada di lab. Jadi biasanya kita setiap mahasiswa punya meja sendiri-sendiri di sekitaran lab kita, dan kita memang wajib ada di sana dari jam 8.30 sampai jam 5 sore gitu. Jadi kalau beres kuliah tuh nggak boleh pulang ke asrama gitu. Jadi kita biasanya stay di situ gitu.
Wah, keren banget sih. Berarti study culture-nya cukup beda lah ya sama di Indonesia gitu. Keren banget nih Pak Gilang informasinya. Mungkin kita bisa lanjut aja kali ya ke rangkaian acara selanjutnya karena profesornya juga udah datang. And thank you Mr. Gilang and thank you for the ice breaking, and let me back to English. And okay, back to the main session. Without the further ado, to kick off the second session, I'd like to welcome again Mr. Muhammad Gilang Ramadan as the moderator of this second session. Thank you for being here, Mr. Gilang. And Mr. Gilang is actually one of our lecturer in agriculture engineering in UNPAD, and he's also alumni of University of Tsukuba for his master degree, majoring in life science innovation. So Mr. Gilang is also quite familiar with Japan and especially University of Tsukuba. To Mr. Gilang, time and place is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Oliva. So good morning, everyone. It's my absolute pleasure to be a moderator for today's seminar named Teen Agroindustrial International Week. So for our next speaker is a professor from the University of Tsukuba. He is an expert on life cycle assessment in agroindustry. And what makes his relevant for our seminar is because it was a defining experience that he has on LCA research, such his latest study on LCA for microalgae oil production from upstream to downstream stages for bioenergy. So we'll read the CV of him. So his name is Professor Ryozo Noguchi. He's a professor in Faculty of Life and Environmental Sciences in University of Tsukuba. And he awarded the PhD in Agricultural Engineering from Kyushu University. And his major research is concentrated on biomass energy, and then agriculture machinery and power, and also oil separation and recycling system. Here to discuss how important life cycle assessment in agroindustry, please welcome Professor Ryozo Noguchi. Konnichiwa, Sensei.
Konnichiwa. Thank you very much for introducing me. So you have been in University of Tsukuba, right?
Yeah, Sensei, under Nakajima Sensei supervision.
Oh, okay. I remember this very well.
Yeah. We met like last year, maybe, Sensei, in Jakarta.
Last year.
Yeah. How are you, Sensei?
Yeah, today, this year, we don't have a chance to visit there, so I'm very
yeah,
glad to meet you.
unfortunately.
Right, yeah. Okay.
So
shall
yeah.
I start? Shall I start?
Wait. Let me explain about the detail of the presentation for today.
Yes,
So
please.
first of all, I would like to thank you for your willingness to join our event. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time. So for the information that this presentation will be divided into 2 sessions where there will be 45 minutes presentation and 15 minutes questions and answers.
Yes.
And without further ado, I would like to welcome Professor Ryozo Noguchi to give his presentation. And time is yours, Sensei.
Okay, thank you very much. So thank you very much for the introduce me. And so I'm very honored to join this TIN International Week, right? Well, I don't know. So what mean the TIN? Could you give me the meaning of TIN?
Yep, Sensei.
So
it's
sorry,
like
I don't understand
agro-technology.
What mean the TIN? TIN.
Is agro-technology and agro-industry and technology.
Agro-industrial technology. わかりました。Okay, thank you very much. So that is a very close to topic of your department, your faculty in UNPAD.
Yeah, Sensei.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for the explaining many things. So today, so I'd like to introduce some LCA, なんだろうな、LCA software for the LCA activity in Japan. And after that, so I'd like to introduce some research topics in our laboratory. Okay, so I'd like to share my screen. どこかな? Just a moment. Okay. Slide show. The sharing is fine.
Yeah,
okay?
Sensei, it's fine.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to start from now. So this is the TI Agriculture Industry Week. So so my topics is the innovation of life cycle assessment in implementation in Japan. So I consider what kind of topic is suitable today's like a symposium or a study meeting. So I'd like to provide a comprehensive Japanese LCIA methodology based on the endpoint modeling and some example of life cycle assessment application research. So this is the today's content. So the 4 topics I will explain. First one is the general information about LCA and inventories in Japan, especially IDEA and LINE. And the second one is the LCA application, research topic of agro-industry in Japan. And after that, so I'd like to introduce some research topics in our laboratory, microalgae fuel production with wastewater treatment. And finally, so I will present the palm oil power plant in Japan. Is environmentally or friendly from the viewpoint of the life cycle assessment. At first, so this is the general information about the life cycle assessment and innovation in Japan, IDEA, LINE, LC application in the agro industry in Japan. So this is the structure in Japan who contribute and aggressively to study about the LCA. Well, my research area is little bit far from the LCA because so the I'm position is applying the LCA for our research. I think there are 2 types of the researcher who conduct the LCA. The paper-based researcher and the paper and also the experiment result, including the experiment results for the LCA. Because so the LCA can be conducted by only the software or database and so on. But I also conducted some experiment and provide this data to LCA. I think there are 2 types of the LCA researcher in Japan, and I also one of the research, I'd like to Now I'm a topic of the LCA in our laboratory, but main focus is how to apply the life cycle assessment for the biomass utilization or the food processing and so on. So this is the famous association and the company name in Japan who are related to the life cycle assessment. First one is the Institute of Life Cycle Assessment in Japan. This is an academic society in Japan. I think that many researchers present their research in these societies. And some of the LCA Society of Japan, this is we call the Japan LCA Japan Forum. And they also linked to the Japan Environment Management Association for Industry. I think the Institute of Life Cycle Assessment has an aspect of the academic field, and the other society is to the promoting, extending their idea to industrial side or the private company side and so on. And they apply the many software or the idea to how to use this software to the real practical field. And this is one of the sustainable management promotion organization. We call it LCA Japan. This organization is one of the parts of the LCA Society of Japan. They're selling the Muka, Japanese LCA software. And as you know, Asst, that is a very famous national research institute in Japan. So we also have a research center in Tsukuba city. We called it Asst. The name is the National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology. They have one of the laboratory who studied very long time about the LCA. Sometimes they will organize some symposium and so on, and they also strongly related the TCO2. So the TCO2, the private company selling the SimaPro or IDEA. SimaPro is a very famous software of the world, but in Japan, only TCO2 is the agency who are selling the SimaPro. And the IDEA is one of the database who are developing by the Japanese side. And so they also selling the IDEA. So the next fiscal year, so we will have a very big budget under the Nakajima Sensei. Nakajima Sensei is the leader of the Moonshot project. It's a very big project. So I have one of the role of the LCA, and Nakajima Sensei will provide me the new type of the SimaPro and IDEA database. Okay. And the LIME, this is the one of the method for the life cycle assessment. The life cycle impact assessment method based on the endpoint modeling. So the Asst is the advocated method in the 1998, and now this LIME method is also existing and use it at some many stations. And this software is managed by the LCA Society of Japan. And LIME is one of the categorized as the recipe or Agroindustry 99. So that this is the final endpoint of the LCA. So LIME is one of the laws. So that this endpoint, the evaluation of the LCA. And they have a damage assessment of the coefficient list and the characterization factor list and the integrated coefficient list. And LIME 3 is the latest version of the endpoint evaluation method. And Atsushi Inaba, who is a professor in our, I forget the name of the university, but he's now still professor in the private university in Japan. And he was a researcher in Asst. And Atsushi Inaba established one of the laboratory of the LCA in Asst. And he continued to promoting and extending his idea using many software and so on. So if you want to know the line structure and the performance and the details, so please access to here to check this about the paper written by the Atsushi Inaba. I think you can understand very well here. And this is the structure of the LIME 3. So they have a 3-stage, the inventory analysis, the result of damage assessment, and the result of the integration. I think you also understand how to collect the inventory data like this one, and they also had a damage assessment and weighting. And the important thing is the final, sorry, is it okay? Okay, so the important thing is the final, so the result integration shows the single indicator as the price. So this, as an example, the index uses the US dollar and so on. And the weighting factor and the integration factor they use, and they change the data or the result from the human health, social asset, biodiversity, and primary production, and finally they provide one of the index as the price. I think it's a very important factor and important role of the line tree. And this is all the one of the table of the list of category endpoint considered in the line tree. So the human health, social assets, and biodiversity, and the primary production. So this is expressed, shown in this figure here, the human health, social assets, biodiversity, and the primary productions. And they use the suburban method for changing the weight, providing the weight. How to convert this result to the price? Because of the this index, these index is very, very difficult to convert to the price or cost. So they use some of the interview questionnaire or some of the CVM and so on. They use this method for converting this method to show the one single indicator. And this is one of the results of the weighting factor calculations. And this is the 4 factors: human health, social assets, biodiversity, and primary productions. They said so the many countries to collect the data to use for the line tree. And this is the weight ratio of each country. So you can see the biodiversity is a very high range in the Japan, Australia, France, and so on. But normally, so the developing country, so the biodiversity attention is not so high, little bit small like this one. Saudi Arabia, I think Indonesia is very small, but I think the data is 2015. I think that your attention is increasing, but in this time, so the attention for the biodiversity from the Indonesia is not so high. So this weight also reflected the data for the line calculations. And they also use the conjoint analysis to change to the one of the way to the one of the price. WTP means the willing to pay, how much you can pay for the such kind of damage, recovering, and so on. So this is the one of the factor of the human health. This graph shows the result of the calculation of the weighting factor on human health in G20 countries. So this graph shows the developing country or the low GDP countries, so pay attention to the health condition. I don't know why so this result shows, but one of the social circumstances affect the how much you want to pay your health conditions. Okay, so line 3 considered reflected the diversity or the difference of the country. So they collect these data and finally show the conversion factor from the such kind of four main factors: human health, social assets, biodiversity, and primary production to one cost or price. This is the whole structure of the line tree. Next one, so I'd like to introduce the idea. So line tree is one of the integrated system for each step and finally show the one index at the price and cost. However, IDEA is the database. as you know, database is a very important role for the LCA. SIMAPRO has a many database, but this database is related to the one of the research database or research paper or some of the report and so on. They collect these data and finally established one database. And the IDEA is developed by Japan, and it is very familiar to us because there are so many data on the world for to consider the rice production, paddy production. I think that in Japan, so we use the agricultural machinery or the fertilizer, chemical, pesticide, and so on. But the total farming is a little bit different, totally different from totally different EU country or US countries. So IDEA, so the focused on the Japan database. So we can easily use IDEA for the very close to data in Japanese side. So, however, so the IDEA also have other countries' data too. So IDEA is developed as an inventory analysis database that takes into account the characteristics of Japan at the first stage. So now 2020, so the IDEA has 12 countries. So Indonesia is also available. So this IDEA, and when I asked to the TCO2, that is the agency of the SIMAPRO, they also dealt with the IDEA setting. So I asked the IDEA Japanese side, and I want to have an international database. So they said, so if I buy a IDEA Japanese version, so you have a right to buy the international IDEA database. So that means so you cannot buy only the Indonesia IDEA. You have to buy the Japanese database, and also after that, so you can buy the other countries. But anyway, so I will have an IDEA database in near future. So I'd like to use this database for the many research topics. So if you have a interest of the IDEA use, please contact me. So I'd like to cooperate with the Indonesian side and start to some LCA project with you. I think the IDEA Indonesian version is very suitable for your country. And this is the available country. So the IDEA database has not only Japanese data, but also the Korea, China, Taiwan, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand, on the Great Britain, France, Turkey, and Brazil. I think if the database cannot, we cannot find a good database, some countries, we can use this data, the close to data. We have one PhD student from the Cambodia, but Cambodia is very close to the Vietnam or Thailand or something. So I think we can apply this database for the Cambodian case studies. And this is the explanation of the IDEA, the comprehensive basic data and the individual data. And the IDEA contains LCI data set of the non-manufacturing sectors, and it covers all products that are classified with the scope of Japan standard commodity classification, so the comprehensive is guaranteed. And the intimate data is created from the interview, survey, and due to past the literature or existing data, and has a more limited applicability compared to the basic data. So I think this is a very important role to the database, because the database is the key factor for the LCA. So that, as you know, so that we can use many software, SIMAPRO and OpenLCA as a free. However, so the database, what kind of database we have to show when we wrote the paper and so on. And IDEA is also one of the database, but they also conducted many research, as like mentioned, like this one, interview, survey, and so on. And we also have some data, but so that this project has a very use a lot of budget. So if we conducted a good database, we have to propose a big budget and big project, and we have to get the budget from the government or private sectors finally, so we can conduct this kind of the data establishment. This is the structure of the IDEA, and the breakdown of the base data can be described as 650 classes and 1,845 subclasses and 1,330 datasets are classified and individual data. I think you can find this one, and manufacture of the chemical and allied products had many datasets in this database. I don't know, so the agriculture industry, how much they want, so that I'd like to confirm it so that after we have this database in Japan and the international version of the IDEA. Okay, the next topic is a research theme or research topic in an annual meeting in the Institute of Life Cycle Assessment. This is the academic to society in Japan, so especially for the life cycle assessment. And I survey so the 2017 to 2020. So what kind of the research is studied in agro industry in Japan? So the first one is agriculture. So this is the Japanese. So this is the English title. I translated Japanese the title to the English side. And one is development and estimation model for the field emission for the pesticide from paddy rice production in Japan. And the life cycle assessment of non-input farming of tea, or estimating impact of the soil quality of the paddy field due to fertilizer management. A combined assessment of organic and conventional cultivation of komatsuna using LCA thinking. Environmental impact assessment of the processed insect in Japan. So as you know, so the agriculture, we input a lot of chemical, the fertilizer, and indirectly, so we use the fossil fuel and so on. I think the agriculture produce the many foods, but also have a big damage for the environment. So the modern agriculture, so there are so many chemicals we use, but so these topics, so very related to how to reduce the input, fertilizer input, chemical input, and so on, and close to the natural farming, non-chemical farming, or organic farming, and so on. I think finally, so we have to seek the help, not only the human, but also the earth health. So how to keep the environment, but how to produce the high quality of the food is a very important issue in Japan and also all over the world. Such kind of the trend also affect the title to this one, and agro industry in Japan, agriculture sector, so we have to consider that one too. And this is the future food, so made of insect, as you know. And recently, plant-based meat, plant-based protein is very popular in the US. They use the plant-based meat for the hamburger. And in Japan, some food industry also produce the plant-based meat for the food. So I bought it and I tested in our laboratory too. And I also calculated how much the plant-based meat save the total CO2 emission or the methane emission finally. And this kind of trend, so keep the environment and conduct agriculture is a very hot topic in Japan, and also LCA has a very big role in this field. And this is all the other topic in agriculture, life cycle environment, economic and social impact assessment of the vegetable cultivation using food waste compost. And this is the calculation of CO2 emission, the production of broiler chicken, and the environmental impact assessment of the clinical ligand, avoiding cell culture, reduction of the environment burden by the genetically modified silkworm. I think that this is very important, very popular topics in Japan too. How to manage food loss and food waste. So the Nakajima Sensei got the big project of the moonshot, and they also consider the future food by using the 3D computer. So that they want to reduce the food waste and food loss, all fields, not only the field, but the processing plant, processing field, and the transportation areas, and so on. Finally, we have to consider how to reduce the food loss and food waste is very important. And in that case, also we have to check how much the total environment that can improved by using the food waste compost and so on is a very big topic in the LCA research areas. And food and its processing also related to the agro industry. So this is a topic of the this LCA society, Agro society, estimating of the greenhouse gas emission at the slaughter processes, and LCA of the packaging fresh tomato, concerning the quality chain to the physical factors, and the ratio amino acid from the inevitable biomass. I think this kind of the ingredient of the each food can be extracted from the many things, not only the agricultural products, but also the algae, microalgae is one of the candidates to the taking the variable ingredient for the humans. And the impact of the different damage rate of the different buffer package on the environment impact of the peach transport. The Japanese peach, I think, is very delicious, but it's very fragile. So how to protect the peach transport by using the packaging and so on. And these topics is very interesting to the LCA research, and this is conducted at the food and its processing as the agro industry in Japan. And this topics is very interesting too, food waste and biomass. And this is the LCA research topics, analyzing of the reduction potential of the carbon dioxide through reduction of the food loss. So we use this keyword again. And the application of the JTR to biomass utilization project with the focus biomass energy conversion technology in Southeast Asia. I think the foreign student in our university present this research in this LCA academic society. And the life cycle economic analysis of the food waste biogas combined heat and power with the digested nutrient management for the fig fertilization in Thailand. And biogas is one of the method for taking the energy from the food waste. And the methane biogas fermentation is also applied to the management of the wastewater. And these topics also the very interesting topic in this society. And there are so many food waste and biomass topic in this academic society. This is life cycle assessment of the golf course management using fertilizer traps for the brewing byproducts, real scale demonstration of field management practices. And this is the environment impact assessment of the aircraft using algae biomass. So my research also related this kind of the research, how much the fuel can be obtained from the biomass microalgae. And this is the environment impact assessment of the rice byproduct utilization technologies. And this is the final, so the topics of the food waste biomass, the environment and the economic impact of the recommendation of the surplus food in a small food store. And this is the targeted food bank. And this is the study of the energy recovery potential from the sludge derived from the disposal wastewater treatment system. Okay, and this topic is very close to the related how much the how to manage the food waste and biomass. And so they also target aquaculture. I don't know so agro industry is related to aquaculture, but I think the aquaculture is close to our agro industry field. So the topics is the life cycle assessment of the oyster aquaculture. And this is the effect of the deep sea water used in aquaculture too. Okay, so I'd like to summarize these topics in Japan. So a trend keyword is agriculture, food processing, or the lifestyle with food consumption and food loss, food waste, biomass utilization. I think these keywords is to contribute to how to build the bio-based society. But so that we don't have a method how to evaluate to this method is adequate or not. So the LCA is one of the important tools for checking to this kind of the technology or this kind of the idea, how much contribute for the environment protections. And recently, the SDGs and the Paris Agreement is very popular all over the world. And the private company and the enterprise promote these keywords to their goals. So we cannot omit these SDGs and the Paris Agreement, but we don't have a good method how to evaluate, how to complete this one. So the life cycle assessment is one of the good tools for evaluate to show the result for compared with the previous one and the present one and the future plans. And so that means the important role of the agro industry is I want to say. Okay. And this is one of my idea to LCA research and thema in the life assessment Japan. But this is the two phase, yang and yin. And this area is like developing stage in all the world. So how to say the industrialization, the mechanization in the old world, and using the fossil fuel and large-scale farming, fast food, and the strong system, and so on. However, recently this trend is changed from the yang to yin. So this is a dramatically change of the thinking, not considering the personally, but also we have to consider the group, village, city, province, and the country, and all the world. So the IoT also promoting to considering the old world too, and just changing from this trend from here to here. So the keyword is changing like sustainable agriculture, natural farming, decentralization, and network type society, slow food, and attention to the food and the quality of the life, renewable energy, and integration ethics and environmental ethics. Because ethics is, I think that ethics is a very important keyword of the life cycle assessment. Why we conduct a life cycle assessment? So just we consider not only you, but also you have to consider your family, your village, town, city, country, and the other country. And you also consider the next generations. So how much your asset can remain for the next generation is very important role for your research when you conduct LCA. So that means the LCA is a very good tool for the measure these idea how to promote your ideal world using these yang and yin idea for your futures. Okay, so this is the lifestyle changing scenario. I show the 3 types of the life changing scenario, but I don't have enough time for explaining it. I'd like to skip it. But so please imagine what kind of the future you imagine, the lifestyle changing scenario, or technology advanced scenario, or environmental industry advanced scenarios. When I have a chance to the Pajajaran University almost 5 years or 6 years ago, I asked the student which scenario you like. The undergraduate students said the environmental industry advanced scenario is best for us. But I think that this scenario is one of the scenario, so you can modify this scenario and this to follow your ideas. Okay, so this is one of the conclusion. Agro-industry affects the environmental, economic, society largely because one of the data says the 30 to 40% of the energy is consumed in agro-industry from the field to the table because only the agriculture sector is not so high, but we have a lot of the energy for the processing, transportation, and if you have take a good dinner in the restaurant, so that almost all energy for the constructing the building and the light and also the air condition and so on. The food related the energy consumption is very high. So that means agro-industry affects the environment, economic, society very, very largely. And we have to know the truth and to consider our future by the LCA as much as possible. Science cannot estimate the future. Science can explain what kind of phenomena or occurred or find the truth of the nature. However, so that we have to estimate to the future because we have to make a plan or design of the future. So in that case, so the agriculture engineering, especially engineering, is a very important role for the future. My idea is that scientist and engineer is totally different. Engineer use the science result, but scientist cannot estimate the future. The engineer can estimate because so they have a design ability. So when we design the future by the viewpoint of the engineer, so we have to know what will be happen the next future. So that means so the LCA is a very important role for the what kind of happen the next future if we conduct or if we design such kind of technology introducing and so on. So that means so that this is my first conclusion for introducing the LCA. Okay, sorry. How many minutes I remain for my presentation?
We still have 10 minutes remaining, Sensei.
Okay, 10 minutes. Okay. So, okay, I'd like to introduce my research topics. The first one is the potential of the microalgae fuel production and the wastewater treatment. And this is one of the survey for how much the people tend to pay attention to the energy consumption. So before the nuclear power plant explosion, 2011, so that they have a lot of attention to the nuclear power plant. But after that, so the renewable energy, so that it pay attention pay much attention to the renewable energy and so on. So, and recently, SDGs and the Paris Agreement also consider affects our idea what kind of the renewable energy is profitable for the next future. And when we conducted the microalgae producing in Minamisoma in a Tsukuba prefecture, so that this is one of the basement of the research project. So we produced native algae, not elite. Native algae means the surviving in the Fukushima areas. So the final result of this project, we have to consider how to decrease the total energy consumption in the total process. One of the very big factor in the conversion process from the after harvested microalgae to the biocrude. So we use the hydrothermal liquefaction, high temperature and high pressure, 306 degrees and 220 megapascal and so on. So that we have to provide many electricity in this project. So that how to reduce the total energy consumption on the hydrothermal liquefaction stage. So we have to consider the thermal recycling and so on. And the other important thing, so we have to consider how to provide a good nutrient for the microalgae. Microalgae eat a lot of nutrient for the photosynthesis, but we have to provide a commercial nutrient for the cultivation stage. But its cost is very high. So we have to change this idea from the commercial fertilizer to wastewater, which includes a lot of nutrient in in the water. So we checked this is the methodology current scenarios. So this is the So we just considering how to apply this idea to the existing wastewater treatment system and how to improve this one. And this is the current scenario, existing stage. So we have to manage and cleaning the wastewater. So finally, this is the 8.83 cubic meter wastewater treatment. And finally, so the 6.09 kilogram distilled sludge cake is produced. And so the crude oil, 1 kilogram is added to compare to our next scenarios. And this is our idea using the wastewater as a nutrient of the microalgae and the dewatering process and the hydrothermal liquefaction stage. And finally, we can get 1 kilogram by crude. So we compare this system, how much the CO2 emitted, this process, and 1 kilogram crude oil. And this we can get 1 kilogram biocrude and managing the wastewater like this one. And finally, so this is a conclusion of these two scenarios, current scenario or algae scenarios. So this is the current scenario, wastewater treatment, sludge cake disposal, import of the crude oil. Finally, we have to pay. So this is the total CO2 emission to produce the 1 kilogram biocrude equivalent. And this is the algae scenarios, algae production and absorption pond HDL process. Finally, we can reduce the total half of the CO2 emission if we change to the existing wastewater treatment system to the microalgae scenarios. However, so that we hide some of the parameters here. So we have to use the wastewater heat, waste heat and waste CO2 to provide the algae scenarios. So if we have a good factory which can provide waste heat and CO2, this algae scenario can be conducted successfully. But if we try to run directly without such kind of waste heat and CO2, the total CO2 emission is almost equivalent or higher than the current scenarios. So that is one of the conclusion, but our LCA results show this one. Okay, I'd like to show the final, our topic briefly. So my topic with the biomass power plant in Japan is environmental friendly. So recently we import the palm kernel shell or the palm oil from Malaysia or Indonesia to produce electricity, because we have a feed-in tariff system to if we produce the renewable energy, so the electricity company buy the high price and distribute it to the consumer. So that means the company who produce the renewable energy using the palm oil and so on, they got the income. So because they contribute to the CO2 reduction. So there are two opinions. So which is better? The biomass, the palm oil generation plant can save our environment or not. Total CO2 emission is higher or lower. So that we have many researchers and we have these opinion is divided two types. This is a palm oil generation plant. It's not good in Japan, or it can contribute to the environment. So we check it one by one. However, we found what is the point? Because when we produce the palm oil is very important role for the LCA. So this is one of the figure to produce the one certain generation electricity by using the palm oil. So when you include the developing stage of the peatland, So you have to account a lot of CO2 for the electricity by using the palm oil. But you can omit the peatland stage. So there are so many small factors for the electricity productions. So almost the negative researcher who against the palm oil generation plant, they consider the peatland developing stage. And some of the promoting side of the palm oil generation plant, they omit the peatland. So my opinion, so that when you start this stage of the LCA is a very important factor for your calculations. And we also consider how to recycling the CO2 before and after. So that the peatland also after blocking the peatland, so the CO2 is emitted. But after converting to the palm oil palm field, so we can produce the palm oil as a biofuel, and in that case, we can save the CO2. So this is one of the result. How much year so we can to fight against the total CO2 emission to the fossil fuel. So in my calculation, after 150 year or 200 or something, total CO2 emission is lower than the fossil fuel if you include the peatland developing stage. So if you omit the peatland developing stage, the period is more earlier than the 200 year or 150 year. But anyway, so how much the year so you consider for the calculation, the past and for the future, I think the result is totally different. I think it's a very important role for important position of your country. So this is the very famous PowerPoint, Joseph Parkinson, and he mentioned the changing the natural forest in the US from the 1620 to the present. The developed country, so that they destroyed their own natural forest and so on. So when they calculate the agriculture production, how much the CO2 emitted, they neglect, they omit the historical stage. If they should include this factor, I think the total CO2 emission totally different, as same as your countries. Okay, my second stage, second part of my conclusion is the time scale of the history should be considered in the LCA calculation for the international discussion. International discussion means so when we checked our LCA for the palm oil generation plant. So how much the history we have to consider in your country too. And also your country discuss with the other countries. So this LCA result is how much reflected by the historical stage. I think that is a very important point, the LCA calculation as a research. And beyond the LCA in the agro industry, so that we have to consider the intergenerational ethics. That is that we consider the next generation, your son, your grandson, and so granddaughter, and so on. So the intergenerational ethics implications for the expansion of food and bioenergy production from the viewpoint of the natural environmental recoveries. Okay, that's my presentation. Thank you very much for the listening.
Thank you very much, Sensei. Thank you for the informative and interesting talk. And it's such a bring back my memory because I used to work with you in the same, how to say, like a project in algae research project, Sensei. So now we're moving to Q&A session. We welcome you to ask the question on the chat box. So, okay, the first one, we have a question from Muhammad Lutfi Abian. So Muhammad Lutfi Abian, the time is yours. You can open your microphone and also your camera.
Okay, thank you. I've already turned on my camera and my microphone. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Professor. That's a very good presentation, and I really get a new inspiration from that. But I want to ask something about from the size of the territory. Japan is smaller than Indonesia, but how can Japan become one of the biggest industrial country in this world? Okay, I think that's my question. Thank you.
So now you're asking the why so the Japan is developed so fast.
Pardon me, sir.
So your question is that so Japan why so Japan has a so big potential.
Yeah. How can Japan become one of the biggest industrial country?
So as we know, so the Japan is recently the total GDP or the economic situation is decreasing year by year because so the almost people is aging. So I think near future, so the average the age will be over 60 in Japan. I think you have a lot of chance in Indonesia too. But anyway, so I think it's a very historical situation affected our developing potential in Japan, and almost people can read and speak Japanese, and also writing. I think the minimum level of the performance of the nations is very important, and almost Japanese people cannot speak English, and they can communicate by only the Japanese. But in Japan, so we share the all information when so the one people or one businessman coming back from the other country overseas, they provide all information when we digest each other. And I think that one of the typical products in Japan is a car, so automobile. So when we produce the automobile, we have to communicate each other to product one type of the automobile. So we cannot separately like a PC. So the PC, we can set the hard disk or the RAM or a CPU, and it's very freely. However, the automobile is impossible because car is have a regulation, and so that should be safe. So that kind of the product is very suitable for our nations. And okay, so I think one of the things is that almost Japanese can read and write the Japanese language and communicate to each other very frequently, and also have a good opportunity to the trend of the car is very popular all the world. But recently, car is not so popular because the young generation dislike the car and taking a chat or internet and so on. No need to transportation without using this kind of internet. But anyway, so I think that's my opinion. So why the Japanese have a potential to in the beginning after World War II.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So now we have a question for Zahra. Sorry, I mean from Zahra. Zahra, the time is yours.
Thank you, Noguchi Sensei, for the stunning presentation, and Mr. Gilang for giving me the opportunity to ask question. Is my voice clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I can't turn on my camera right now because my signal was unstable. So I'm curious about Japan, like how does Japan handle and develop the food and agro-industrial technology in Japan during the pandemic's era? Because based on my observation, Japan is a country with a high level of creativity and innovation in food and agro-industrial technology. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. So I'm not the expert of the food processing, but I feel so the Japanese people very sensitive about sanitary. So I think that this is one of the characteristics of Japan, because Japan has a many water, abundant natural water, because we have a lot of the precipitation, rainfall of the world in 1 year. So we have a very plenty of water and very clean water. So I think the other country, the US or the Australian countries, they very scarcely about the water consumption. But in Japan, we have a lot of water, clean water. That means deeply affect the freshness of the food. So we eat a lot of raw fish, right? I think the raw fish cooking use a lot of water, right? And some of the food in Japan use a lot of water for the cooking. But if we don't have enough water, this kind of the Japanese food is different trend in the present. And so the sanitary attention, the Japanese very high. So I think this is one of the factor for the promoting the food company. Also keep the safety food and keep the sanitary and so on. And how to say in the US, EU, so they use a lot of the perfume, right? Perfume for hiding their sweaty smell and so on. But we also, in Japan, we have a hot spring and a lot of water. We cleaning our body every day, and there are no, that is the one, the etiquette to no smell. So I think it also affected the cleanness of the sanitary attention for the food too. So, and also the Japanese is a very work very hard from the morning to night. So they concentrated on what kind of food is very good for the young generation or the old generation, and also how to process. And that kind of the kaizen, improving day by day, is also affect our agro industry stations. Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay. Thank you for the explanation. So the key to the stability of the Japanese industry is sanitary, right?
Yeah, I think so. Japanese people is very, very pay attention to sanitary. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Arigato, Noguchi-sensei.
Terima kasih.
Okay, so we move to another question from Sasvia.
Thank you, Mr. Gilang. And thanks a lot for inspiring presentation from you, Professor Noguchi. That gave me a lot of insight for me. So my question is, how to make an industry have an awareness to apply LCA, especially in waste treatment? Thank you.
Waste treatment.
Yes.
Yes. そうだな。one of the things that the private company should open their data for the public, because the private company has a responsibility to the public people or the general people what they are doing inside their companies. So in the old stage, the private company no need to open their data in the environment stage, but recently almost private company should open their environment data for the public annually. And so some company want to hide, but the top company open their data for the public. So that means all companies should follow. So the opening or disclose their data for the public. And that is one of the trend in Japan. And also the LCA is all companies should conduct the LCA. So they published the annual report of the environment in Japan. Almost the top company, Toyota or the Kagome or Ajinomoto and so on. But I don't know what the detail of the LCA. When you conduct the LCA research, you feel, okay. So when you conduct your LCA research, so you easily found you can easily change the data as personally. So that means, so you have to be honest when you conduct the LCA. So that if we change the data, so that easily to change the result. So the total energy profit is the positive or negative, or this cost is the higher or lower or something. But so important thing is to open your data clearly and keep your mind honesty. And so when we consider the next generation, we have to be honest. If we hide some of the data, so the next generation will not be happy. So, so this kind of the thinking, so the distributed all the world and also the top company in Japan too, because top company should be respected by the consumers. So that means why so the LCA is very popular in a top company in Japan.
Okay, arigato sensei.
Arigato.
Okay, so we have another question for Hanana.
Thank you, Mr. Gilang, for letting me ask the question, and thank you, Mr. Noguchi, for the awesome presentation. So I'm curious about in Japan is one of the biggest saltwater fish consumer, right? And but the population of saltwater fish is also declining. So my question is there any alternatives or plan B to fix that problem, especially from agricultural technology?
Sorry, I don't. I'm not expert of the aquaculture. However, the one of the solutions the breeding of the fish. So in all time, so we catch the fish or in the sea, especially the far areas. However, recently, so the competition is very hard, and we have to keep the aquaculture, the total to fish cultivation equally. So that if we can wait for the fishing, harvest the fish, the 1 or 2 years, some area it will be recovered. That is the opinion of the expert of the aquaculture. So that if we want to consume the lot of the fish, we have to use the breeding in a close to the sea or the field. I think that will be the solution. And we have to wait to the grown up with the nursery fish to the adult and so on, and the total fish harvest the production can be kept. Okay, so that means we have to wait, or that is the total management system of the fishery is very important.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Noguchi. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Okay, thank you for the question. So since I asked like the last question, I have a last question before we close the seminar. So implementing the LCA, so what are the factors to be considered in deciding which one is better, using the paper-based data or conducting the experiment resources?
So when you conduct the research, I think that I recommend you your experimental-based data for your LCA, because so if you are not the LCA expert, so I think you have the food processing and so on, right? So in that case, so you have your original data of your research. I think it's very, very preferable for your LCA. You can easily compare the existing and the future scenario. Future scenario means that after introducing your technology, you are finding data. So how to improve the before and after. So you can easily to insist that your technology, your method is more attractive than before. So if you have original data based on the experiment data, or you're finding new data on the field, I recommend you apply this data for the LCA.
Okay, Sensei. Thank you very much, Sensei. So yeah, now we are at the end of the Q&A session. So thank you very much, Sensei. That was such a compelling presentation where we can learn deeply about the implementation of LCA in agro-industry. So now we kindly present a certificate of appreciation for you from us, but it will be given by our head of department. It will be given by Miss Avery. So I welcome Miss Avery to give the certificate of appreciation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pak Gilang. Thank you very much, Prof. On behalf of organizing committee, I'm Efri Madawati. I would like to express my gratitude and appreciation to you, Prof. Ryozo Noguchi Sensei from Tsukuba University, who has presenting an interesting topic about LCA and implementation of it in the agro-industrial sector.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring, Prof. We really appreciate your contribution as the speaker at this event today to share your knowledge and experience in the second day of the 10th Agroindustrial International Week. 10 is Agroindustrial Technology Study Program, which focus on the production of agroindustrial product, include the process technology, bioprocess technology, agroindustrial system, and agroindustrial management. We have many potential biomass resources to produce the various value-added product. In the sustainability and biorefinery concept into commercialization.
Yes.
As you mentioned, that LCA is the key of the commercial one. So that this event provide a valuable opportunity to us to arranging the collaboration program on the near future. Such as the
I have many PhD students from the Indonesia. So now one lecturer, Devi-san,
Devi
just studying at my laboratory, and I think that today the participant is a very young people, and I think they have a very big potential. So if you have a chance, please come to my university and please study hard for your future.
Many of our lecturers and our faculty was graduated from Tsukuba University.
Yeah, that's right.
One of them, the Pak Gilang. And Pak Mimin, Bu Devi, and so maybe we can arrange the student exchange program or internship program or joint research between Tsukuba University and Universitas Pajajaran.
I see. And recently we considered how to promote our class, the international class. That means the education program for each other, because of under the COVID-19, so it's very difficult to going to your country, and your country also very difficult to come to Japan. But recently, this kind of the web-based class is very, very familiar. And the young generation is like this one, because there are no need to go to the school. Give you their time for the transportation. And I think this is a very good situation for the young generation too. But so the field experiment or the experimental room is a little bit far, this kind of the discussion. Now I'm considering to the GoPro or the drone and so on. So if we fly and bring this camera on the field, and directly to communicate each other as an experiment and so on. So if you have a good counterpart, if you can introduce a good professor or faculty to me, so I direct to connect to you. So when we conduct such kind of classes, now we have one class between the Taiwan National University and yes, but anyway, so if you interest such kind of the web-based field communication live streaming, so please tell me.
Okay, so for the next Universitas Pajajaran class.
Yes, please.
Once again, thank you very much. Arigato.
Terima kasih.
Thank you, Miss Efri. So for the committee, can you show the certificate of the appreciation? So this is the certificate of the appreciation for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sensei.
Very honorable for me.
So before I close, so before I close this second session, let me express one of the message delivered by Professor Noguchi, that as we know, agriculture industries not only affect the economics or also society, but it's also affect the environment. So LCA is important to see how much agro-industrial technology can affect to the environment. So that's why it's really important to learn about LCA. So yeah, now we are in the end of our second session. I thank you very much for your appreciation for Noguchi Sensei and also for the participant in this seminar. Hope you enjoy the program and have a good day. Thank you, Sensei.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me for your very valuable sessions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, see you again.
See you, Sensei.
Okay, so now I'm leaving. Okay, see you.
See you, Sensei.
See you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gilang, and our amazing speaker, Professor Ryozo Noguchi. And wow, that's a very insightful information. Please give your reaction again to Professor Ryozo Noguchi and Mr. Gilang. Thank you so much. I hope after this event, we could still maintain good relation between University of Tsukuba and Pajajaran University. And finally, we already reached at the end of this session. Thank you everyone who already participated in this session until now. And also thank you to our amazing speaker, Assistant Professor Chutima Waisarayutt and Professor Ryozo Noguchi for sharing a very insightful information. And also thank you for our amazing moderator, Mr. Koko and Mr. Gilang. And as I said before, we are going to have a photo session. And make sure to open your camera. Okay, you can open your camera now because we're going to have a photo.
Thank you, Pak Gilang. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Gilang.
But I think the Noguchi Sensei already left the room.
Yes.
I guess. Yeah.
Tapi sempat tadi nggak screenshot tadi, Prof.
Okay.
Sudah di screenshot.
Okay, we're going to have a photo group session, so please open your camera. Operator, ready?
Please, for participant who hasn't turned on the camera, turn on the camera for this moment. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Reno
Okay.
rapi rambutnya
That's it for me.
Okay, thank you everyone, and don't forget to taking your absence because you will get the certificate as well. And don't forget to fill the feedback form in the chat column. And before we end this session, let us close this event with praying first. And okay, pray based on individual belief, begin. Amen. Thank you again, everyone. And also don't forget to attend the last day of Teen Agroindustrial International Week on the next Friday, because there will be some cool speakers from PPI and IAS. And see you on Friday. Till we meet again. Bye. You can leave the room now. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Alifa. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pak Gilang, Pak Koko, all of the participants. Thank you.
See you on Friday.
Bye. Assalamualaikum.